Have you found the solution to getting a perfect water slide decal? You have? If so, please drop it in the comments down below. If you haven't, stick around and I'll let you know what I found out. Hello everyone and welcome to Cricketing with Delonda. It's me again, Delonda, and thank you so much for joining me today. In today's tutorial, we are going to go through the steps of trying to get a water slide decal done the right way. Now, there were some snafus and I can't wait to share them with you. There were some minor successes and I did get to, and I love it in one of the projects, but boy, oh boy, this was a process and I can't wait to share the process. At the end of this video, if you find it helpful, please consider liking the video, subscribing to my channel, and turning on the bell for notifications because I do upload new content every single week. Now, without further ado, let me show you the materials. We'll go quickly through Cricut Design Space because that is not the focus of this tutorial. The focus of this tutorial is placing the water slide decals on your item and trying to get them to stick and stay in the right place. Boy, oh boy, I can't wait to share this process with you. So without further ado, let's get started. The materials I'm going to use for this project include my Cricut Maker, Hayes Paper Company Water Slide Decal Paper in Clear, Krylon Crystal Clear. I'm using these dishes or these this mug, this bowl, and this glass that I purchased from Dollar Tree. I'm going to use a paintbrush. I'm also going to use my green standard grip mat, and my printer is a Canon MX472 inkjet printer. It's not sublimation, it is an inkjet printer. And that's it. Let's head on over to Cricut Design Space. I am in Cricut Design Space and I'm connected to my Cricut Maker. These are the images that I'm planning to use on the water slide decals. Let me just show you how I got each of them. So this one that says I Heart Chocolate was actually a part of a bundle that came from Design Bundles. So what I did was I uploaded that bundle. I'm going to click View All and just navigate to that sticker bundle, and I'm going to add it to my canvas. And when the bundle comes in, you will see that there is one that just says I Heart Chocolate. So what I did was I ungrouped this bundle and I just added it to this to one of the designs that I wanted to use. Now make sure that when you are choosing files to use for your water slide decals, if I wanted to choose all of these, they would need to be flattened first. Okay, so this is one of the images. This is this image right here that says I Heart Chocolate. I just made it a little bit bigger and I flattened it. So now it looks just like that. All right, so I'm going to delete this because I don't need it anymore. I just wanted you to see where I got that image from. All right, I'm going to also delete all of that. This one right here that says teaching is a work of heart. I actually also got that from Design Bundles. I'm just going to click upload so you can see what that looks like. I actually used that file on a clipboard that I sublimated a couple of weeks ago. This is what the file looks like. And all I did was I just resized it and I made it smaller. Let me undo that. And you know, you want to resize it to an adequate size for whatever piece of material you're going to put it on. If you're going to put it on a glass or a bowl or a water bottle or a mug. And so once I had it just the way I wanted it, I can see this is already a print then cut image. I don't even have the option to flatten this. It's already pretty much flattened. So I just resized it to the size I needed and I was good to go. I'm going to delete this because I don't need it. This Houston Rockets file was actually purchased from Etsy, and the seller on Etsy is no longer, that shop is no longer open, so I can't link that for you. Teachers Are Magical also came from Design Bundles. That unicorn right there, it came from Design Bundles. And then this where it says Morgan, I Seriously Love You. This is the Honey and Raspberries font. So if I just go to text and I type Morgan, I'm double clicking that, Morgan, I Cereal. Let me type it just like that. Seriously love you. The font is one that is called, it's a system font that I downloaded from thefont.com. It's called Honey and Raspberries. Okay, that's that font right there. And what I did was I ungrouped it and I changed the O's to hearts, and then I added a background layer. So that's how I got her name in this font right here, and I flattened the whole thing. Okay, so that is that. And because the goal of this tutorial is not to teach you about flattening font and all of that, the goal is to teach you how to apply water slide decals. We're not going to go further into details about that. Okay, so now once I had the files exactly how I wanted them, what I did was I attached the whole thing, because remember, Cricut Design Space does have a maximum limit of 9.25 by 6.75, and I don't see an error message here, so I know that my files are good to go. Once I had them exactly how I wanted them, I clicked Make It. And then, because I knew I wanted to put them down on the glass and the water bottles and the mugs in the opposite direction, I mirrored my images before I printed them. Okay, so I clicked mirror and then I clicked continue, and then I got them all printed out. I clicked send to printer, and I kept the add bleed on. I printed from my Canon MX472 printer. I used System Dialog. I clicked print. And once I got to my printer settings, I clicked preferences. I chose photo paper. I actually chose matte photo paper and print quality high. And also, I always recommend, doing a print preview just so you can make sure it looks exactly how you want it to look. And so once I click print, it's not going to actually print. It's going to show me a preview of what the print will look like. Okay, and that is exactly what I want my print to look like, because I'm going to put the images on the glass and on the water bottles face down. Okay, everything I'm going to do from here will be back on the camera. I am downstairs in my kitchen with the printed images. What I'm going to do is shake up the bottle of Krylon Crystal Clear, and I'm going to spray one coat, and I'm going to wait for 30 minutes and then repeat that 2 more times. Now I'm going to put the images on the mat and let the Cricut Maker cut them out. Going to remove my mat from the machine. I can tell that they are cut out really nicely. I can see there's some overlap right here, but I'm not going to worry about that because this is just an extra cut anyway. Now we will go downstairs and try to get the images applied to the glass and the ceramics. The first thing I want to do is just go ahead and clean off all of the containers, just wipe them down with rubbing alcohol. Now that all of my dishes have been cleaned with the alcohol, I can start to remove the images from the mat and separate them so that I can put them in the water one by one. The first image I'm going to try is a unicorn. So I have it separated from the other images. I'm going to place it on this water bottle that I purchased from Walmart. I'm placing the image face down in the bowl of lukewarm water, and I'm going to let it sit in that bowl for 1 minute. Okay, it's been a minute, and now I'm going to remove the image from the bowl, and I'm going to wet the water bottle just with my fingers, just using some of the water from the bowl. And I'm going to place the unicorn face down on the water bottle. I know that, typically you place water slide decals face up, but as I told you, I had a lot of trouble with this project, and I found that this was the way that worked best for me. So I'm going to place it down and then just try to slide the decal away, or the backing away from the printed image, and ensure that it stays on the bottle. So I'm sliding it away, and I like the way this turned out. I think I did a good job. I'm trying to smooth it out here with my fingers, and thinking that, I really should have tried it. I would have had better success if I would have tried to do that with a paintbrush, but I didn't have one when I started with the first image. So at this point, I was still using my fingers and just trying to get it smoothed out. I do like the way this one turned out. I'm going to put the paper towel behind it so you can get a better look at it. I'm pretty pleased with the way this one turned out. And then I thought that I would just try to repeat that process on the back of the bottle. So now I grabbed the second printed unicorn, and I'm going to just try to repeat the process again and see if I'm able to achieve success. So I'm going to put it in the dish and let it sit for about a minute. And this time I actually used the timer. So we're down to 1 second. You see the image on the other side. I'm wetting the bottle. I placed it down. I pretty much followed the same exact process, and I was hoping to achieve the same level of success. I'm not sure if I didn't add enough water or what went wrong here, but it did not come out as good the second time I tried it, even though I thought I did the same exact thing. So once I realized that there was a snafu, I tried to smooth it out. And then once I realized that I couldn't smooth it out, I just decided to remove it from the bottle. And that's one thing that's good about water slide decals, is that as long as it's still wet, you can just remove it and nobody will know, unless you're doing a tutorial where you're showing everybody your mistakes. So this one, first time, yes. Second time, not so much. Now let's try the white mug from Dollar Tree. I've already cleaned it with the rubbing alcohol. I'm going to try to add this rectangular image that is, mirrored and printed. And I am going to try the same process, 1 minute in the water. And then I am going to try my best to get it placed on the mug. And I'm going to try to do it straight. And at this point, I still don't have a paper towel. So I'm going to add water, the same water that I used with the water bottle. And I'm placing it down. And I'm going to try to slide it, because water slide decal, as the name indicates, you should be able to slide it. And I did try to slide it initially, and I wasn't getting good results. So I added more water. And then once I realized I could just peel it up, I did that, and that's what actually worked for me. I would love to hear what has worked for you in this process. So once I got the image on there, I just kind of dried it with a paper towel. One question you might be wondering is this dishwasher safe? As a general rule of thumb, your hands are also dishwashers. So if it's handmade, do hand washing. So I'm going to try the same process again on the other side and see if I can achieve success on the other side, just like I did on the first side. And I'm using my timer, using my phone as a timer. I'm going to set that timer for 1 minute, follow the same exact process, and try to achieve the same results. So I'm adding water. I'm going to put the image on there face down, and I'm going to try to slide it. If I realize that it's not sliding, once I can see that the image is on the mug, I'm going to add a little more water and then peel it up, because that worked for me the first time. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So if this is working, I'm going to keep doing it this way. But once again, I would love to know what has worked for you in this process. So what am I going to say? I love it. I love it. So now I'm going to dry it off and move on to the next dish. Okay, so I'm going to put the printed image in the water, 60 seconds. This is intended to be a bowl for Morgan, but this one, woo, did not go as planned at all. So I'm going to wet the bowl. Now, I had not added more water here. Maybe that was the problem because the water did start to cool off a bit. So I added the image to the bowl on the side where I thought it would go. You know, you might be asking if this is food safe. I would definitely say, you know, if you don't feel like it is, don't put your lips that far down and just be careful about that. So I'm placing the image. I can see some discoloration, just like the ink is leaking right here. I did not know why this was happening. I wish I could give you some like, oh, don't do this or don't do that. But I don't know why that happened, because one side of the bowl came out really good and the other side not so much. And I don't really know the reason why that came out like that. And once again, since this is water slide decal and the image is still wet, I just decided to peel it off and, you know, try it again, because there was no way to salvage that. Even if I had taken that one side off, I hadn't printed another one, and it just, I have no explanation for why it came out like that. So I had to just take it off and try using a different image on this bowl. All right, I have one more dish that I'm going to try, and I'm going to use this Houston Rockets image, and I'm going to try to put it on this glass. And I'm so hopeful that this one turns out nicely, because I love the Houston Rockets and I think this will look so cool on this glass. So same process. I just let it soak in the water for 1 minute. I put the image face down on the glass, and I tried the sliding method. And by this time I had grabbed a paintbrush and I started to use the paintbrush to smooth out the image from where it was, you know, sliding down. So I do feel the paintbrush was very helpful in helping me get it smoothed out. You can see that the image is, hopefully you can see that it's smoothing out very nicely. I love the way this turned out. I love the way this turned out. Look at that. That is my favorite. So I was able to get to I love it twice, because I was able to achieve success with the unicorn and with this glass, and I'm super excited about that. The other ones, not so much. I do feel the paintbrush was a game changer and the most helpful tool in this whole process. Now let's go back upstairs so I can share my final thoughts and my tips and tricks. Okay, so I did get through this process, but there are a few things that I want you to know, a few takeaways that I have for you. Number one, I tried this multiple times. I tried using the water slide decal paper in white, and I just couldn't get it. I couldn't get it to do it right. So my one takeaway is stick with the water slide decal in clear, but also don't forget to mirror your images. I feel like that was the easiest way. That was the one thing that helped me get to the end of this process. Number two, don't try to smooth out your images with your finger, because you will probably use too much strength in trying to do that and you won't get a smooth image. I think having a paintbrush is really what helped me get to at least one I love it. Number three, make sure your water is a little bit warmer than room temperature. So lukewarm is just a little bit warmer. Don't use the room temperature. And if the water starts to cool down, warm it up again. Number four, do not skimp on the adhesive spray. I think having a good coat of adhesive spray also helped. And then number five, my fifth tip is, I'm not sure what happened with Morgan's image. So this is like one of them I printed out, and trust me, you guys, I printed this so many times, it's not even funny. This is the white paper, I think. Yeah, this was when I tried to do it on white. I printed this at least 8 or 9 times before I was able to get to some semblance of success. So I do love the way this one turned out. Another thing, it is recommended that you either bake it or put some type of sealer on the top. I chose not to do that because it's just recommended, but it is also optional. And I don't plan to put these in the oven. I do suggest hand wash only. So if you just stick with the thought of handmade hand wash, you'll be fine. I love the way this one turned out. This one, not so much because I can see the ink is fading, but the image is on there. I'm satisfied with that. But at any rate, if you found this tutorial helpful, please consider liking the video, subscribing to my channel, and turning on the bell for notifications because I do upload new content every single week. Thank you so much for joining me today, and thanks for watching. Bye.